Welcome to Exponential Builder, where I share the behind-the-scenes journey of building in the exponential age, my wins, my lessons, and the thoughts shaping my next moves.
Okay, let's jump right in. Today, I'm going to walk you through a pretty big creative pivot I've been working through. And I'm structuring this just like my own journal entries, so it's going to be super raw, super real. We'll cover what I did, what I learned from it, how I'm thinking about it now, and of course, what's coming up next. Let's get into it.
All right, so first up, what I did. This whole thing, it didn't kick off with some grand strategy or a bunch of market research. Nope, it all started with something way simpler. It was actually just a personal project, a little gift I made for my family, but man, it ended up being a massive signal for me.
So picture this. My sister sends me these videos, it's just super adorable, of my nieces, her daughters, jamming out on these little instruments I'd left for them. And they're just having a blast, right? But as I'm watching, I'm like, wait a minute, there's a story here. So I got this idea to make a little animated short just for them, a little gift. I called it The Band of the Three Sisters.
And here's the crazy part. The whole process, it was ridiculously simple. I wasn't holed up in some fancy studio. I was literally out running errands. I just took some screenshots from the video, fed them into an AI tool on my phone to get these cool drawings, and then I animated them into a little story. The whole shebang, right from my phone. It was kind of a mind-blowing moment.
So I sent it over, and the reaction? It was instant. My family just loved it. And get this, right away, my other sister hits me up asking if I can do an animation for one of her projects. And that was a huge data point for me. It was like, wow, this little heartfelt creative thing I did on a whim got more attention and, more pull than so much of the other stuff I've been putting out there.
Okay, so that little family project, it was way more than just a fun gift. It seriously set off this chain reaction of professional insights. It really made me step back and think, okay, where should I really be putting my energy? What's actually valuable and defensible in the world we live in now?
And this right here, this slide just nails the core lesson I learned. On one side, you've got your typical news-focused content. Let's be real. With AI tools today, anyone can summarize the day's news in, 5 seconds? The moat there is basically a puddle. But then, on the other side, you have creative storytelling. And that's a whole different ballgame. It's your unique IP, it's defensible, and most importantly, it connects with people on an emotional level that AI just can't touch.
And you know what's wild? It felt like the universe was literally screaming at me. Just as all this is swirling around in my head, I'm listening to a podcast I follow, and they start talking about this new thing called microdramas. And I'm like, what's that? Turns out it's these short 60 to 90-second vertical stories made for social media. And I just stopped, because that is exactly what I had just made for my nieces, completely by instinct. So, it all boils down to this one single crucial realization. In a world where AI is making information basically free and unlimited, a commodity, what's left? What's actually valuable? It's your ability to tell a unique, compelling story. That's it. That is the true moat in the age of AI. Okay, so that's what I learned. Now let's talk about how this is changing the way I'm thinking. This wasn't some panic moment where I felt like I had to burn everything down and start from scratch. No way. The goal here is to evolve, not demolish. To build on the foundation I've already laid, but in a smarter way.
And that brings up the big question, right? The one I really had to sit with. How do you evolve without tearing down everything you've already built? How do I pivot toward this new creative stuff without just, ditching the work I've done and the audience that's come along for the ride? That continuity, it's super important.
And the answer, I realized, was staring me right in the face. It's the framework I've already been building. The Exponential Tom multiverse. I designed it to be this infinite creative container. It's a universe where literally any plot, any character, you can do spin-offs, crossovers, whatever. It's the perfect playground for exactly this kind of story-driven IP development.
So this leads me to a kind of two-pronged strategy. Think of it like this. The creative, emotionally resonant stories, they're like the magnetic front door. They're what will pull people in and get them interested. But then, once they're inside, for anyone who's curious about how it's all done, I'll keep building out the systems, the tools, the education stuff in parallel. So the stories attract, and the systems provide the deep value. All right, so with all that new clarity, it's time to actually do something. So here's the plan. Here's what's next.
I'm keeping it simple, a 3-step plan. Step 1. This week, I'm launching a new little project called Exponential Busker. The whole idea is to get you guys involved. Which leads to Step 2. I'm going to start taking story requests from the audience and actually animate them. And then Step 3 is pretty simple. See what happens. Learn from it, see what works, and just grow and expand from there.
And I'm honestly so excited about this because leaning into creativity just blows the doors wide open. I'm thinking we could collaborate with musicians and make animated music videos. We could partner up with other amazing storytellers. This lets us become so much more than just the AI tools guy, you know? It opens up a whole world of new products and ideas centered around creative AI. The potential is just huge.
It honestly feels like a full circle kind of moment. Like I'm getting back to my artistic roots, you know? But this time, I'm armed with this whole new arsenal of tech and a much clearer view of the landscape. Yeah, it really feels like round 2 is about to begin, like a whole new chapter. And it kind of leaves me with this one big question for all of us, really. In a world with infinite AI content, what's the one unique story that only you can tell? This is Exponential Builder, brought to you by Exponential Tom. If you want to follow my journey, explore the tools I use, and join the movement, head to exponentialtom.com.